what are the main scholarly works composed by Rabbi Emden? And how was he able to accomplish that, given the fact that he was an autodidact, that he didn't have any formal yeshiva background and training?
Yeah, it's remarkable. Rabbi Jacob Emden never went to yeshiva. When he was young, he was living in Altona in Hamburg, the city where he was born, where his father for a number of years served as Ashkenazi chief rabbi. The Zayda, his mother's father, Rabbi Shalom Zalman Miralis, had served in that position. The Chacham Tzvi married the chief's daughter, moved into town, helped the chief, helped his father-in-law at the end of his father-in-law's life, and he himself took over. And until the age of 11, 12, again, I told you I'm not exactly sure when he was born. Nobody is, I think 1698. In the year 1710, his father moved to become the chief rabbi, Ashkenazi chief rabbi of Amsterdam. There's no yeshiva going on there at all in Hamburg, so he learns with Malamdim. He moves to Amsterdam. There's no real yeshiva in Amsterdam. His father's very busy, doesn't learn with him. And then his father leaves Amsterdam. He gets into a colossal fight with the local community over a Sabbatian issue, someone who he claimed was a follower of Shabtai Tzvi. He leaves. Yaakov then gets married at the age of around 17, never learned in yeshiva. And that's why he has some shittas in his chuvas that are unusual. He's got a whole shita about pilegesh, some of his piskei halacha. I don't have time to go into the specifics, and it doesn't matter. Reflect someone who's not part of the Masorah, of who has the scaffolding of a clear-cut tradition about how to approach Jewish law, how to approach Jewish tradition. But yet, being an autodidact and not having a formal yeshiva education, I'm in awe. What can I tell you? I am in awe of someone who just churned it out. You asked what did he write? I'll ask what did he not write? He wrote on, you name it. He has a parish on the Chumash. He has a parish on Tanakh. He has a parish on the Mishna. He has a commentary on the Gemara. He has notes on the margin of the Gemara. He has a commentary on the Siddur. He has 300 plus Responsa. He has a half a dozen tracts, essays on different subjects. He published 6, 7 sermons that he gave, long sermons that he gave. And this is on top of about 10, 12 pamphlets and books, 70, 80, 90, 100-page books that he wrote about Sabbatianism and fighting against Sabbatianism. He published in his lifetime some 35, 36 volumes, commentary on the Shulchan Aruch, on the Torah. It's jaw-droppingly, unbelievably, incredibly astounding what his output was. And he had to make a living. So he was in real estate, he was a moyel, he did the import-export. He was a handler. And he writes often about how he got the short end of the stick, Nebuch, and people took advantage of him. So I mamish don't begin to understand when he was able to do that. And in addition, we have about 90 books that were in his library. The British Library in London has about 70 books that were in Rabbi Jacob Emden's library. When he died, his daughter Chana yarshened him. She inherited both manuscripts and books. In his books, he wrote in the margins. He put the commas in his Shas Gemara, which is in the National Library in Yerushalayim. He puts comments. If there's a little chipchik at the end, so he'll write the hey in or the end mem in. Ad kedei kach, to such an extent, I can't imagine what he did on Shabbos when he couldn't write. He learned with a pen in his hand. So all of these books, the books went to the British Library, the manuscripts went to the Bodleian. I don't understand. That's part of what just floors me. Where did he have the time to put one sentence in front of another and produce what he did? And he's quoted in rabbinic literature. It's not like he's some favorfene guy on the sidelines that he wrote foolish stuff that nobody looks at. The Morah Ktsiya, his parish, his commentary on the Shulchan Aruch and the Tur, is all over the place in subsequent rabbinic literature. His commentary on the Siddur, She'elis Yavitz, his Responsa, they're quoted up and down. Not always do people agree with him, but so what? He's a player. I'm despoiled. I can't begin to imagine how he could have done this. And for the last 25 years of his life, he is focused on destroying Sabbatianism.